Hey, Mark, you ready for the intro?
Maybe.
All right.
I'm nervous.
I'm also nervous. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 5 of We Digress, the podcast that's a hot mess. I'm one of your hosts, MikeMedran0, joined as always by the lovely CloudMark27. How you doing this week, bud?
I am doing this week, Michael. That's your
That's,
answer.
I think that's really all anybody can do is this.
is do. All we can do is do.
All we can do is do. Lot of shit happened this week.
Yeah, I was
Lot of shit.
expecting some things to be, not as uproarious as earlier this month. How about that?
Yeah.
But yeah, this week came in hot.
Came in very hot. We of course had pour one out for the homies, rip in peace Mixer.
Pour one out,
Mixer finally shut down.
July 22nd.
July 20. I think it actually went a little bit longer than that though, didn't it?
Yeah.
My
Microsoft
favorite
was gearing up for their conference, so they forgot to shut down Mixer.
That's not the first time that they forgot about Mixer, to be
That's
completely
true.
honest. My favorite thing though about the Mixer shutdown, which just a quick reminder, when Microsoft announced they were shutting down Mixer, they tweeted it out, and that's how literally everybody found out about it.
Yep.
Even the partners.
They broke up with us through text.
Yeah. So this week, when they shut down, all the partners got revenge, dude, because every single partner that was under the partner spotlight banner was streaming an advertisement about their move to Twitch, which I thought was hilarious.
It was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
And it was literally like partner spotlight, and then right under that was an ad for Facebook Gaming. But all the partners were just like, "No, we already moved to Twitch."
Yeah, Mixer's like, "Yo, we're partnering with Facebook Gaming. Go watch on Facebook," and everyone's like, "Yo, all my homies hate Facebook. We're going to Twitch."
Yeah, I think the only major partner that I'm aware of that decided to go to Facebook was Cathalion.
Yeah.
But I think for him that was a smart move because I feel like his audience is a little bit older. Not to mention he has his own coffee brand, so it kind of worked out.
He has his own coffee brand? I didn't know that, actually. That's crazy.
You know, apparently it's not that hard to do. My cousin's husband actually has his own brand of coffee. So
yo, are we making our own coffee?
Let's make our dude. I don't drink coffee, but let's do it.
We're gonna call it Waifu Thigh Sweat.
Oh God,
maybe.
Let's table that idea for forever.
Oh, and, what? That's good. That's good.
We'll come back to it. So yeah, we had Mixer finally shutting down.
Yep.
Rip in peace, Mixer.
Yep.
Last week, or was it the week before? I don't quite remember. We talked about Ven, which is a new television station coming out. That's going to be like part TV station but part stream.
Right.
This morning we got some we got some news.
We got some big news, actually.
Apparently in 2021 G4 TV is going to be returning.
G4 TV,
which I know we've talked about. Well, we talked about it when we touched on the whole Ven situation.
Yeah.
It was super.
We brought back G4 TV.
We brought it back. It was all us, boys.
It was all us. We got the word out there. There it is.
It's exciting.
Yeah, I mean,
question mark like. I say question mark because and Slasher actually brought this up.
Yeah. With
Ven and G4, yes, gaming is much bigger than it was in 2014 when G4 became defunct.
Yeah.
But it's either going to succeed and do really well, or it's going to fail miserably, and there is going to be no in between.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I think this is one of those issues where there isn't going to be a lot of gray area. A lot of the old hosts didn't know that this was happening, except for maybe
Oh,
Kevin Pereira,
Caper.
because he did tweet something, I think it was yesterday morning, that there was some big announcement that he was excited about, but he couldn't say anything about. And then today we got the
Oh,
teaser for G4's return.
okay.
So maybe, he did go on to produce the Attack on Twitch, um, as well as start a production company called The Attack. That was the whole thing where turns out he was view botting, and so he got banned off of Twitch, and so
He was view botting?
yeah, you didn't know about that?
I didn't. I have
Yeah.
no knowledge of
So
this.
he started the Attack on Twitch, which was like the spiritual successor to Attack of the show,
Yeah.
and it turns out that he was view botting. Not only that, but oh, sorry, I'm just gonna digress for a second. I just saw I have a doc open with links to everything we're talking about, and I just saw what Mark typed in. Sir, I do not smell
It took
unless
you
you
so
mean
long
smell
to notice.
good, dude. Because I'm in the zone. I'm in the zone. Yeah, dude. So among other things, there was the view botting, but then Twitch partner Aaron Steebly,
Something like
mispronounced that. I apologize. She was a host, and her and many other female employees that worked on that show had issues with one of the hosts,
Oh
who
no.
would go on these like power trips and basically tell them like, without me you're nothing. And it was
Damn.
that came out a couple weeks ago too. But so anyways, there's
That's the
that.
worst type of person.
So presumably
Presumably.
Kevin Pereira knew that this was happening. It'll be really interesting to see what happens, because the television landscape can change from here until the debut. It just gave the broad date of 2021. So that could mean January 1st, or that could mean December 31st, 2021. So we'll see
Yeah.
what happens. Although apparently there was already some attempts to bring G4 back, according to Brittany Vincent, who, let me pull it up here, is she's worked on Shack News, CNN Underscored, NBC News, Tom's Guide, Pop Meg, Otaku USA, MTV News, and Variety, among
Huh.
many others. She put out a tweet saying that basically they were trying to revive G4 with sci-fi games, to try to make it an online content hub.
Right.
And they had been working on it for 2 years before this got announced this morning.
Jesus.
Yeah, so there was that. And then according to journalist powerhouse Mr. Slasher, let me pull the tweet up here. It says the return of G4 will be based and focused on the web, not TV. G4 is making a comeback from Comcast, who still owns the property, led by Spectator Gaming president Tucker Roberts, who oversees Comcast's eSports orgs, T1, T1 LOL, and the Philadelphia Fusion Overwatch League team. Tucker is the son of the Comcast CEO Brian Roberts. So
Nice.
it
Okay.
seems like, just based on that, it might be like a passion project
Ayo, Dad, we're bringing back G4.
for, yeah, which honestly is like,
We're bringing back G4.
if it is going to be a passion project for Tucker Roberts, then hopefully it pans out. But we'll definitely have to see what happens there.
Yeah, I hope it succeeds. I have good memories of G4.
Yeah, and it'll also be interesting to see like what shows would you want to come
Attack
back?
of the Show,
Attack a show for
obviously.
sure.
I don't know if I would want X Play without Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb, because I feel like them hosting is really what made X Play enjoyable to watch. But there's a ton of people that could host that could be just as enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I think there's definitely, especially if you're pulling from the streaming industry the way that Ven is doing, I think there is still plenty of people that could that could lead the charge for these shows.
Right.
And listen, G4, if you're watching, because I know you are, Tucker Roberts, my dude.
Tucker Roberts, our boy.
Listen, I'm gonna listen. Mark and I have known each other for 12 going on 13 years. We got some good banter. We also have big passions. That's about it. But if you need somebody, you want to add a little diversity, drop us a line.
Diversity. We're Latino.
So there's that. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that.
That's our pitch.
That is our pitch, dude. Maybe we'll do an actual pitch video.
Okay.
We'll just record ourselves staring into the camera, staring contest style. If Tucker Roberts blinks first, he owes us a job.
Oh, hear that, Tucker Roberts?
I'm just saying, competitive. I was gonna say blinking, but that's not the word. Competitive staring contest.
There you go.
The newest esport. So yeah, there was that. Another interesting bit of information that came out this week on a totally different topic.
Totally different.
The U.S. Army isn't going to be streaming for a little bit on Twitch.
Yeah, it's ooh.
Yeah, so we talked about this a couple podcasts ago. Right? Yeah, I think it was no, 2 weeks ago. Last week was the anime arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So the U.S. Army Twitch account was banning people who were asking about war crimes in chat.
Right.
I know when we discussed it, it was kind of like, just don't be a dick in chat, you know, like,
right.
Don't be a dick, forehead, you know. But then the ACLU got involved and said that it was a violation of the First Amendment because, you know, the U.S. Army is an agent of the government, and government bodies are not allowed to infringe on people's rights. Shout out to our founding fathers for that one. And so not only did the ACLU get involved, but AOC got involved as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you don't know who AOC is, she's the... Wait, what is she? She's from New York.
Yeah.
So what is she? Like the governor, senator, something?
Yeah, she's the governor, Mark. No, dude. No, she's
What is she?
She's
I don't live in New York.
A senator.
Right?
Right? We're from Texas, dude. As far as we're concerned, there is no other state. Yes, so she's a representative, excuse me.
U.S. representative from New York. There you go.
So Miss Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she's planning to file an amendment on an upcoming bill that would prevent the U.S. military from using funds to maintain a presence on Twitch, other streaming platforms within eSports, and within video games. She actually said, quote, "It's incredibly irresponsible for the Army and Navy to be recruiting impressionable young people and children via live streaming platforms. War is not a game, and the Marine Corps' decision not to engage in this recruiting tool should be a clear signal to the other branches of the military to cease the practice entirely." Which we did talk about when we first discussed this. The U.S. Marine Corps has basically said, we're not going to use this as a recruitment tool because they didn't want to gamify war.
Yeah, basically like making it seem, or equating it to the games that we see, like Call of Duty, Battlefield, what else? Rainbow Six.
Yeah, Rainbow Six. So there's that. The U.S. Army, their justification for banning people on the platform was that these users were violating Twitch's terms of service, that by people going into their chat to specifically ask about war crimes and to troll about these things constituted harassment, which is why they banned people, because it went against Twitch's policies and procedures.
That's crazy in this day and age that the United States Army ban people on Twitch.tv for asking them about their war crimes. That's 2020 in a nutshell.
Yeah, dude. Is it though? I think it's a big nut, dude. Let's be honest.
It's a big nut.
It's a big shell. So Katie Follow, senior attorney at the Knight First Amendment Institute, said in a statement, The Army and Navy can't constitutionally delete comments or ban people from these Twitch channels simply for asking questions about issues they would rather not address.
Right.
The Army, and I'm reading this directly from The Verge, which I'll go ahead and I'll link the article in chat. Give me one quick second. So let's do that, and let's do that. Okay. Where am I? The Army, meanwhile, argues that questions about war crimes constitute harassment and so violate Twitch's terms of service. Quote, the esports team blocked the term war crimes in its Twitch channel after discovering the trend was meant to troll and harass them, Callie Bland, a spokesperson for the Army, told the New York Times. Twitch members used creative spelling to continue related posts. Following the guidelines and policies set by Twitch, the U.S. Army eSport team banned a user from its account due to concern over posted content and website links that were considered harassing and degrading in nature.
Yeah.
So that's happened.
Big yikes. But not only that, the article that Michael posted also goes on that the U.S. Army is also accused of using these fake prize giveaways. I don't remember if we talked about this.
We didn't, because at the time I don't think we were aware of that.
Right. So they're pushing these fake giveaways like, hey, we'll give you an Xbox Elite controller or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Series 2 controller.
It is a Series 2 controller. Okay. So, and then after like the viewers would click on this link, they were redirected to a recruitment form with no information on the prize giveaway. And that, yeah, you can't do that. I'm pretty sure that goes directly against Twitch's TOS. And it's just a shitty thing to do, honestly.
Yeah, it's definitely against Twitch's TOS as far as giveaways go. So I think for me, it's just really funny, the justification of, well, we banned them because they were harassing us, which violates Twitch's TOS, but we're going to run these fake giveaways, which is also against TOS.
Right.
So we'll see. They have paused streaming. I believe the U.S. Navy continued for about another week. And they have also paused, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see how they go forward with this.
Yeah.
Because nobody's ever had to deal with this before, right? Like the U.S. Navy, Army, or military force streaming and promoting themselves on a gaming platform site thing. And so I guess we just have to see how Twitch allows this going forward, or like if Twitch sets some guidelines, they like outline a template that they have to follow or something. So it'll be really interesting to see what exactly happens. And if this amendment goes through, that's being brought up by Miss AOC, then that changes a lot of things too. So we just have to wait for more information, see how this ends up.
Yeah, and I know we touched on this, but we do have a friend that we went to high school with, who joined the Air Force, and he was a professional player and then became a coach for I believe it was the Military Gaming League, MGL was the league, and they were a professional league within the U.S. military that would play. If we were smart and we probably could have reached out to him and be like, hey, what are your thoughts on this?
That's true. We could have.
We probably should have. Well, maybe I'll shoot him a message and we can talk about it next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so I think it's one thing to say like, hey, you know what? We as the military, we're gonna have like a recreational league within the military. Obviously, like, it's pretty shitty to host the fake giveaways to that then redirect to recruitment forms.
That's big shitty.
And I think the thing with that is, if you're a young impressionable kid and you're like, oh, I have the chance to win this $120 controller,
right,
that I can't afford, that my parents can't afford, whatever it may be, and they click the link and it takes them to that form. If I'm a young impressionable kid, I'm thinking like, oh, I have to fill this form out in order to enter.
Right, exactly.
Instead, what I have just done is I've just given them my personal information and given them permission, unknowingly given them permission to have a recruiter reach out to me.
Right. It's like little 12-year-old kids just be like, I just want a controller, bro.
Well, at least 13.
Right. I wanted
TOS.
TOS, at least 13. I wanted a controller, but ended up in the army.
Yeah,
This is my
exactly.
story.
So, especially, and I don't know, maybe this is how it was in your household, but when I was growing up, anytime a recruitment flyer or anything got put in the mail, my grandparents would throw that away, like, immediately. I know we touched base on it before, but both our grandfathers served in the Marine Corps, and my grandfather was like, no, I don't want you guys joining the military. Like, don't do it.
My grandpa was the same.
Yeah, so it's like, can you imagine being like a parent or a guardian, and you've been in the military, you're like, I don't want that for my kids, like, and then you just like randomly this recruiter shows up and goes, oh yeah, by the way, your 13-year-old kid expressed interest in joining the army in 5 years. They're not in high school yet, but they really want to join the army.
I mean, it's already asking a lot for people just coming out of high school. Be like, hey, you know what you want to do with your life? Go for it. Go get in a ton of debt going to college. Or, join the military. That's rough.
It is, definitely is. Yep. So, well, there was that.
So like we said, there's a lot of shit that happens.
There's a lot of shit, yeah. And to be completely honest with you, we're trying to get through. We're gonna talk about the Xbox game showcase, and there was so much to digest that we want to dedicate, I think, most of this episode to that. Right. But we still want to do justice with the other things that we're talking about.
Right.
I probably should have led with this next topic. We're gonna jump to the very last thing on the list there, Mark. And that is that.
Gotcha.
Aliens exist.
Aliens exist.
So a New York Times article came out. When did this come out? Today? Yeah, it was updated. It came out yesterday. It was updated today.
Okay, there you go.
No longer in shadows, Pentagon's UFO unit will make some findings public. So I think it was earlier this year, maybe late last year. 3 videos got released that showed unidentified flying objects.
Yeah, basically UFOs.
Well, I mean, that is what a UFO is, right?
Yeah, unidentified flying object.
Yeah, but so I guess in the military, a UFO isn't what like we civilians would think of like aliens. It's literally just they can't identify it.
Object in the sky, we have no idea what it is,
Yeah, they don't know. It could be foreign. They don't know. This really excites me.
Aliens,
dude. There was and I have to find it somewhere. It's somewhere in the article.
Right.
I should have highlighted it, but.
That is okay because
let me see here. Is that Mark playing the Dude, I like that I opened this article and it just auto plays the fucking video. So audio listeners, I apologize for that one. It just started auto playing.
Okay, we didn't hear it I didn't hear it, so it's okay. It doesn't exist if I didn't hear it.
It doesn't exist if you didn't hear it.
Right. Dude, aliens are cool.
Let me see.
What I want is not destroy all humans aliens. Those aren't very cool. Or Independence Day aliens. Those probably wouldn't be very cool. But like Star Wars aliens,
Yeah, like the aliens that are gonna be like, hey man, we're here to help you.
Yeah, I want Mass Effect aliens.
Which aliens I don't want are the aliens from Arrival.
Yeah.
Shout out Arrival. I actually have an Arrival tattoo.
Those were kind of interesting.
But here's why I don't want them. Right. By the way, Arrival, great movie. I suggest if you haven't seen it, watch it. The whole premise of that movie is, what does the world do if we make contact with aliens? Right. So the biggest nations in the world, they come together. They're trying to figure this out. An American linguist is able to start deciphering the aliens' language,
Right.
and she learned some key words. One of those words being weapon was actually share weapon, if I'm not mistaken. And when that came out, everybody, all the world's governments flipped out and they stopped working together. And what
Yeah.
it turned into was, again, we live in the U.S., so the I guess the antagonist was China in the movie, and they were only the antagonist because they were gonna nuke the pod that had landed in mainland China in the film.
Right.
Right. And so it was this really interesting, like, what would happen if aliens did come to Earth, and how would we as a society react? The reason I don't want those kind of aliens is because guess what?
We would ruin it.
We would nuke the shit out of them, dude. It wouldn't be China, it would be the US, bro.
Yeah, 100% we would ruin it.
Yeah, dude, the US would be like, listen, man, we don't like those aliens south of the border. Why would we like the aliens that are up in the sky? You know? And it would happen. You know? I know
it's
tinfoil
sad
hats
that
on.
we all know that we would somehow ruin it. There's
exactly.
Like no way that this would be cool. Like there's no way that this leads to pod racing. Basically.
Exactly. There are few nations in this country where it could lead to pod racing. But if it were to land at, like in the US, no pod racing.
No pod racing.
It would go from the prospect of pod racing to Independence Day. All right. That's what would happen. That's what would happen. I wasn't able to find the quote, but I did read somewhere in the article about somebody quote unquote confirmed that there have been pieces of alien craft that have been taken into possession by the U.S. government.
Right.
So that'll be interesting if that's
we about to storm Area 51 again.
Dude, can we bring that back, bro?
Naruto run into Area 51 again.
Just Naruto run into it. Yeah, so there's that. We'll go ahead. We'll take off the tinfoil hats for now.
Take it off.
It's just, this one was really interesting for me because, like, growing up, my grandfather was super into conspiracy theories.
Aliens.
And yeah, dude. So that one's that's a little.
There's heavy stuff happening. This is fun. Yeah.
I guess let's talk about this big heavy topic before we have to take a break, and then on the other side of the break we can go ahead and do talk about Xbox.
Oh boy.
Guys and gals, we are going to touch base on some sexual misconduct claims. So if you are aren't comfortable by the topic, we suggest maybe tuning out
or skip forward if you're
watching or listening.
Yeah.
So this is an article that is from Bloomberg
Business Week.
Yep. So I'll go ahead and I'll link this in the chat. Ubisoft family accused of mishandling sexual misconduct claims. A scandal at the family-run video game company has disrupted the Guillemots, which I'm definitely not pronouncing, inner circle and incited calls for more drastic changes. So
this is just, another one in the big personalities in the gaming sphere getting called out, finally, rightly called out for sexual misconduct.
Yeah. So, no, go ahead.
It's actually insane to me that this is still, like, there's still more and more coming up. And it's good. It's good that people are coming forward with this. But it's like, to see all of this, all of these cases and whatever, not out in the open before now, it's just like, damn, there's a lot. There's so many.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. After this article dropped, which it came out on the 21st, so just a couple days ago, I was not surprised, and I was honestly not shocked. And that's obviously that has nothing to do with the fact that it's like I don't want to hear about it anymore. But it's just like, at this point, when something comes out, it's kind of like, yeah, okay, like
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise you. Like the red flags were there. You know what I mean?
And we know how Ubisoft does its business. So
yeah. Well, the article touches base on that, and we'll touch base on that too. So, for anybody unaware, Ubisoft was founded by 5 brothers in 1986.
long as
Yeah, so they've been family owned since then, since they were founded. It has come out that that 3 studio heads were engaging in sexual misconduct. Like many of these other stories, issues were brought up to HR and nothing was done about it.
Which is what you don't want HR to do, because that's kind of what they're there for. So if they're just like, I didn't see anything, it's just like, why does HR exist?
Yeah.
Hello?
So here, and this is again directly from the article. A spokesperson for Ubisoft declined to comment or arrange interviews for this story. Chief Executive Officer Yves Guillemot, which again, I'm going to butcher that name, has promised extensive changes and has taken steps that many staff once saw as unlikely. Those include the oustings of Serge Hascott, Chief Creative Officer and close friend of, I'm just going to refer to him as Yves, for decades, and the heads of HR and the Canadian studios. So, definitely some powerful people, but the most powerful of the group was Sergei Hascott.
I'm looking at all these names and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna butcher all of these.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so we'll just get that out there. We're gonna butcher these. The former executives didn't respond to comment. Quote, Ubisoft has fallen short in its obligation to guarantee a safe and inclusive workplace environment for its employees, Yves said. This is unacceptable, as toxic behaviors are in direct contrast to values on which I have never compromised and never will. I am committed to implementing profound change across the company to improve and strengthen our workplace. Which, when a lot of employees heard this, quite a few of them came out and were like, really?
Really?
You've never compromised on these values?
Like, you sure about that?
Yeah, they said, you sure about that? Several employees say that they were pleasantly surprised, even shocked, at the company's swift response to the allegations once they were made public. Hascott was long seen as a permanent fixture of the company, despite allegations that he demanded female subordinates and surrounded himself with men accused of predatory behavior. Many other employees expressed doubts that a company run by the same men who presided over a toxic environment could deliver the type of systemic change needed to ensure the safety of female workers, who are outnumbered 4-1 by men at Ubisoft. So...
oh my god!
Let's hope that they are good on their promise. There is a graph about halfway down the article about the gender imbalance within the games industry. 78% of employees at Ubisoft are male, 22% are female.
Right.
Even developers like CD Projekt Red, who I would say are fairly forward-thinking.
Yeah, they did The Witcher. If you guys don't know who that
true. Is. Only 26% of their workforce is female.
Yeah, it's a pretty big. It's like all across the industry.
Yeah.
Like even like in school. If you guys don't know, I was part of a game design or whatever. I was in that sphere at my school, and there was a big discrepancy between males and females that was actually just it's crazy. It's honestly, in 2020 you think it wouldn't be as big as it is, but it really is.
Yeah, it was. How many people were in your group when you were working on it?
So, oh man, I'm trying to think. It was like maybe 15 to 20. I would say around there. When I was doing a game slice, basically, when I was part of a group in university making a slice of a game, or a vertical slice of a game, which is basically a small snippet of a playable section of your idea for a game, right? And I think we actually had pretty no. It was still pretty. There was a pretty big discrepancy.
Yeah.
Like there was for sure females and males working together, which I was like, all right, cool. You know, we got that going. I want to hear everybody's voice. You know, make this the best product that we can.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy to think, are like hearing stories from these people that they're like they feel that they can't come into this industry, or that it feels blocked off to even enter it, because they're like, well, there's all these guys here. It's very hard for a female like me to get into the guys crew or boys night or whatever, anything similar to that.
Yeah.
And it's rough to hear like stuff like that.
Yeah, and I mean, there has been, I mean, continued, you know, quite frankly, to be women who come into the industry and they carve out a space that's their own and they're extremely successful.
Right.
Like I think of Allie McLean, who is a former cosplayer. She founded a game studio in Australia and she's doing very well for herself. She advocates for, you know, for women in the games industry. I think I can't remember her name. Let me look it up. But the original creator of Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah.
Let me see.
Basically,
maybe not a creator, but
she was one of the leads. She was,
yeah,
you know, one of the big names up there. I don't know that her name off the top of my head. But just going in like the game production field, there should just be no, like, if you're male, female, and nothing should dictate how well you do your job. It should just be like, if you're good at it, cool, let's work together. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, what gender you are. None of that should matter. And it's crazy that people still feel excluded because there's these tight, tight groups that just don't want to let them in. You know.
Jade Raymond.
There you go.
Is her name. She was a lead producer on Assassin's Creed 1.
Do y'all know how big the Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, it's I think I feel completely safe saying this. It is Ubisoft's biggest franchise. Like 100% without a doubt, their biggest franchise.
Sure.
Yeah. And it has been for quite some time, you know.
Yeah.
So this article goes on to talk about how 3 women who worked at Ubisoft had been warned not to go out drinking with Hascott. He would hold business meetings at strip clubs, which is like, dude, what the fuck, bro? Like, that to me is like,
that's already a like strike.
It's like, okay, again, the red flags are there. Like, where the fuck was HR to be like, dog, you can't do that. That is not an appropriate business setting.
How would you think that's right? Why is, hey, I'm going to hold this work meeting at a strip club?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
That's just how is that thinking going on in your mind? How would you think that this is okay? That's okay? That's insane to me. Freaking
yeah.
Hascott.
Yeah, we're gonna butcher the names. There was other allegations where during a meeting, a female employee went to go use the restroom, and Hascott pulled out his phone and pulled up a YouTube video where he played a French song describing sexually explicit acts with a woman who had the same name as the presenter, the female employee that went out to use the restroom. His reputation was well known. 10 people who worked there over a period of spanning more than a decade said that his reputation was well known. He appeared immune to HR complaints, so employees say they were forced to either find a way to work with him or seek employment elsewhere.
Jesus.
Allegations of harassment and sexism extended far beyond Hascott and his subordinates. In 2015, a group of staff in Sofia, Bulgaria, were watching the trailer for Star Wars The Force Awakens featuring actor John Boyega, who, if you're unaware, he is black. According to Faye Versiel, a former designer on the team, quote, people just collectively went, hey, look, it's a monkey. Which is an extremely racist thing to say.
Jesus, dude, what the... Are you serious?
Yeah. So it seems like, and again, you know, this goes back to what Eve, you know, one of the founders of the studio said, that he's, you know, that what's come to light does not stand with his values, but if he was the head of the studio when this toxic environment was created and was at its worst, it makes me as an outsider very wary about things changing within the company.
Right.
Because yeah, you can oust the most toxic people that are there, but if the environment in the company does not change, somebody new will fill that role, right?
Right.
Unless, like he says, like it says in the article, there is systemic change, it's gonna keep happening. And it'll start in the form of microaggressions, and it'll eventually get to a point where you could have another creative director thinking it's a good idea to have meetings at a strip club. You know?
That's just ridiculous,
That's just the sad truth about it.
Okay, let's see the biggest thing that HR did at Ubisoft. Here, I'm going to read this from the article.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Stewart went to Ubisoft HR twice about her manager. Both times she was told to talk it out with him. She said, talk it out with him, she says. It was only after her third visit, she says, when a male coworker corroborated her claims that the company removed her. But this is after a male coworker corroborated her claims that the company removed her boss. I received a thank you card from HR, Stewart says. Attached to the note was a $200 Visa gift card, she says. Stewart, who left the company, calls it a trash employer.
Yes, and this was after her manager continually made sexist and fat-phobic remarks about her to her team.
Right.
And this was after she would call him out saying that he was being inappropriate and making her uncomfortable. So you have a case where a female employee is complaining about a male manager that HR doesn't do anything until another male gets involved.
Not only that, but attaching $200 Visa gift card.
Yes, it's like it's adding insult to injury. You know,
it's disgusting.
It doesn't make any sense to me that an HR team would think that that is a good idea. Then again, it's Ubisoft HR, which apparently wasn't doing jack shit to begin with.
Right.
And the shitty part is you know that whoever decided to get her the $200 gift card thought that was a brilliant fucking idea. And thought that like, oh, she's gonna appreciate it so much. She's gonna love it. She's gonna know that we got her back. It's like, no.
Yeah.
You know,
like,
you
this $200 is really gonna go a long way. Be happy with it.
This $200 is gonna make up for the fact that you were harassed and we did nothing about it. You know, don't spend it all in one place. It's absolutely disgusting.
That's, man, it's just crazy. And like, this is Ubisoft, right? This is a giant ass company, one of the biggest in, you know, the gaming industry,
that has studios all over the world.
All over the freaking world.
You know, the article goes on to say that the Toronto office was especially problematic. The studio was run by Maxime Belland, his wife Rima Breck, and another husband and wife management team. Belland was a trusted lieutenant of the creative chief. He was also known for his quick temper with a tendency to scream at subordinates during meetings. 2 of those people say they saw Balan touch women inappropriately at holiday parties. He was also accused of choking an employee at a party.
Oh my god!
That is according to Kotaku. Yeah, Crimson says the fact they gave it to her means they knew they dropped the ball. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, somebody thought like this will make up for it. You know, they attached a dollar amount to her suffering and to her pain, and said, "Here you go. We're good here. I'm gonna wipe my hands of the situation. We did our job." Absolutely disgusting. Dude. Goes on to say that another one of Hescott's men, Tommy Francois, openly flirted with subordinates, made homophobic jokes, performed unwanted massages. Francois did not respond to any comments. Newcomers to the company were told it was Tommy being Tommy, which this kind of goes back to the first or second episode where we talked about the offline TV situation.
Boys being boys.
Where people attributed Fedmeister's actions to Fed being Fed. You know?
It's never okay.
And the sad part is the people who probably said, that's just Tommy being Tommy. They again, the red flags were there, but they were just unaware of it. Right? I'm going to give them a benefit of that and say that they were unaware of it, but that just goes to show you the level of privilege that those employees would have had.
Yeah.
To have not experienced that and not to have experienced how uncomfortable it makes other people feel.
Ugh. Like the more I dig into the situation, it's just like, holy shit, all of these things actually happen in a professional setting. It's that's my reaction to it.
Yeah, dude, it's again, and we've already said it, hopefully the company is true to their word and they will actually change things.
Right.
It did, however, spill into the actual video games that they were producing.
Right.
So I don't know if anybody remembers this, but when Assassin's Creed Unity came out, it was the first Assassin's Creed that had online multiplayer, if I remember correctly.
Sure, I don't know. But you're more knowledgeable about this.
You could only play as a male character. So when that came out, people were like, well, what if we want to play as a female character? And the response that was given by devs... Sorry, give me one quick second.
I think Michael's cat is being a little... But the response given is that they would have to animate the female's clothing or do new animations for female characters, and it's just too much work.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Just like Mark said, it was that we don't want to animate female characters. But then it turns out that may not have been the real reason, because when Assassin's Creed Syndicate came out, which is one of my favorite in the series,
right?
The original premise was to give the twins, Jacob and Evie Fry, equal amounts of time in the game. But Sergey Hascott, who was the chief creative director, basically said that women don't sell. And more time was given to Jacob in that campaign. Then in Assassin's Creed Origins, the original idea was to have the character of Bayek either get injured or be killed off, and the player would then take control of his wife, Aya. But again, women don't sell, so Bayek was the main character. Then in this new latest one, Assassin's Creed Origins, they wanted Cassandra to be the lead character in the game. But again, women don't sell, so the compromise was to allow the player to choose between playing as Cassandra or as Alexios. And in the game, they are brother and sister.
Right.
Now, having recently played the game and absolutely loved it, you can tell almost immediately that Cassandra was meant to be the character that you play as.
Right.
Because while both actors did a good job, phenomenal job bringing the characters to life, the dialogue just feels much more natural playing as Cassandra. Mm-hmm. Right? With that said, however, Ubisoft did release a statement saying that only 1/3 of players chose Cassandra when playing the game.
I feel like that's false.
I couldn't tell you. I know I chose Cassandra. I had a great time. I feel like she feels like a much more fleshed out character versus Alexios. Like, his dialogue can get a little stiff sometimes, right? And even in the new one, Valhalla, again, they're giving you that option to play as either a male or a female. But in all the promotional material, we're seeing the male characters.
Right.
So
they say that females wouldn't sell, but it seems like they that just seems ignorant of the marketplace, right?
Yeah, considering, like, look at all of the female-led games that have done extremely well. You know, Horizon Zero Dawn, the Tomb Raider reboot, The Last of Us Part 2, regardless of what anybody thinks of that game, it sold extremely well and is selling extremely well for Sony. You know, Metroid.
Jade Empire.
Yeah, like...
Dude, Metroid, like, Samus in Chef's Kiss. Mwah.
Yeah, so it's like... You know, they're saying this.
That's ridiculous. And okay, so if you guys are mobile gamers or gacha gamers like me, then you know that people spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to get a JPEG of their waifu. You're telling me females don't sell, and then there's degenerates like me that put in so much time and effort and money to get a JPEG of their waifu. Are you kidding me? Like, that's just... Oh my god, dude. Let me, like, Fate Grand Order made over $1 billion, right? And that is like one of the ultimate waifu gacha games. And you're telling me that females don't make money. I'm sorry, but that's just stupid and wrong.
Yeah, dude, it really is. Like,
how much have I spent? Not a lot, because I'm poor.
So, yeah, dude, this whole, like, women don't sell thing, my favorite response to that was somebody said, it's almost like they released Assassin's Creed Liberation, didn't advertise it at all, didn't push it, and when it didn't sell well, they were like, well, yeah, it's because it was a female lead.
Also, it was on the Vita.
Yeah, it was on a platform that wasn't doing well. But
fun fact, I actually own that game. That is an Assassin's Creed that I own.
Yeah, but it's just like, it's like, if that truly is what they're basing it off of, it's like, I'm sorry, what?
That like, just feels like they took a dump and they're like, man, this looks like a good opinion, and then they put that, you know, out there. That's what it looks like. And it's very disappointing.
Well, like I said, we'll have to see what happens. The article even mentions, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn sold more than 10 million copies.
10 million's a pretty damn good number.
But women don't sell when it comes to video games.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. The article also mentions, which I think is hilarious, that that Hascott was losing his creative magic because they released The Division 2 and Ghost Recon Breaking Point like in the same year, and they bombed. Like, they bombed. And a lot of people attributed it to Hascott, saying that he kind of got to a point where he wanted everything to basically be like open world, and the player has to go do these missions, and that's how the story gets progressed. And even if you compare like the original Assassin's Creed to Origins, yes, there was some open world elements to Assassin's Creed. It was more of a sandbox.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I sank so much time into Assassin's Creed, and you know this because you were in a call with me when I was playing it. I sank so much time into not Origins, into Odyssey, and when I beat Chapter 9, I was like, my reaction was literally, I think I just beat the game.
I think I just beat the game.
There was nothing that like made me go like, oh shit, dude, like it was just kind of like, okay, that was kind of disappointing.
That happened.
And then I sunk like another 6 hours into it, and then something else major happened, and I was like, I think I beat the game again?
Question mark?
You know, and apparently this is attributed to Hascott. He kind of didn't want these like narrative cutscenes in games. He just wanted these big open worlds.
Big yikes.
Know? So I don't know, dude. It's just crazy to think that like this man was given so much power only for him to really not live up to this perceived, you know, magic that he had with storytelling.
Right.
You know?
Piece of shit.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, thank you. That is an opinion. That is not fact. Please don't sue us for defamation. Even though use a piece of shit. Use a piece of shit. Yeah, man. I mean, I know that you don't play Assassin's Creed. Right. I don't think you ever played like Ghost Recon or
I played it was on the 360. That was like the first game I got for 360. Mm-hmm. Ghost Recon Advanced Warfare? That
was Call of Duty, my dude.
Oh, it was GRAW. Ghost Recon
Advanced
AEW.
Warfighter.
Advanced Warfighter, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the first. I don't know. But it was like generic military shooter, number 15.
Generic military shooter that's not like Call of Duty, but it's trying to be. Yeah, dude. We'll see, man. I really hope that Ubisoft will actually make changes, because I feel like if you can get one of these major studios to make the type of change needed to happen, I think that will have a domino effect in the rest of the industry.
Right.
And I do think that it's going to take one of these big studios to make those changes. You know, obviously change has been happening, and it's a slow process. Wish it wasn't, but it is. But maybe this will be the thing that like makes people within the games industry really look at themselves in the mirror and make that change.
Yeah.
They're gonna stare at the man in the mirror, asking him to change his ways.
Maybe we're the assholes.
Maybe we are.
Right?
Wait, why are we the assholes?
No, like that's them looking in the mirror, being like, maybe we're the assholes.
Okay, I got you.
You know, and sometimes you just gotta self-reflect like that. Sometimes you gotta be like, man, am I an asshole or is this okay?
Yeah.
That's that. And that's all that we can hope for, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll have to see. We'll definitely be following this story.
Too blinded by the pile of cash. Yeah. Well, if they did lose a bunch of cash from those, you know, like Michael said, the Division 2 and Ghost Recon. So maybe once money starts talking like that, more people will be like, "Oh shit, let's not lose all this money."
Yeah, and go ahead.
No, that's it. Be better.
No, yeah, it's just like the games industry is so weird because I don't know, man. It's happened in the past where people have said like, "Hey, let's boycott this developer."
Remember boycotting Blizzard?
Yeah, dude, exactly. Like, look at what happened with Blizzard. You know, everyone was like, "Let's boycott them," and then nobody really did it. And
yesterday, Moira was trending because of the patch notes for Overwatch.
Yeah, it's like you know, we'll see. Well, like I said, we'll be following this story closely, and we'll see where it leads. It'd be really interesting to see if Ubisoft actually announces a plan going forward for what they're gonna do. I know that they're gonna be working with an outside HR firm to develop their practices within the
Actually,
studios.
an HR firm that they have to do work. They're not just there in name.
Yeah, they're not just there to get a paycheck. So, yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. I think with that, guys, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick 30 to 60-second break, and then on the other side, we'll be talking about the Xbox Games Showcase. There's a lot of stuff that came out of that, so we will see you guys on the other side. Hey, welcome back, guys. I hope you enjoyed that little ad read. We were so close, Mark. We were so close.
It's fine. It doesn't get easier.
We were so close.
I'll learn. We're professional, by the way.
Professionals, by the way. Yeah, so we are going to... Thank God I was able to make it before the 60 seconds are up. Oh, man. So Xbox...
Was this yesterday?
This happened yesterday.
Yeah. Was Microsoft Xbox Series X Games Showcase.
And I'm going to go ahead and link the article we are referencing.
It'll be on The Verge. It gives a pretty good condensed version of what was announced and what was shown at this showcase. So we'll be going over that.
The article that we linked is the 18 biggest trailers from the showcase, but I have like 2 pages of games.
Did you watch it live, Michael?
I did not.
I did.
Completely forgot about it.
To watch it. I was just like, okay, let's I got to keep up with the industry, see what's coming to Xbox, and see what's actually, what's going on with Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess my overall view of the conference was... My overall opinion of the conference was, oh, cool, I'll play it on my PC.
Yeah. So I'm actually glad you brought that up, because they showed off a lot of games. To be honest with you, I wasn't particularly fond of what they showed. There wasn't really a game that like stood out to me like, oh, I need to get an Xbox Series X to get this game.
Right.
The thing that did stand out, however, and this is something that I didn't realize until yesterday, was it wasn't a showcase of games. It was a showcase of Game Pass.
Yeah.
Right? Every one of these games is going to be available through Game Pass. Right? Which is, if you think about it, insane, because for $15 a month, you have access to 100+ games. Which is like, let's put this into perspective. The article that we linked, right? It's the 18 biggest games. Let's assume they all cost $60, because we don't know how much next gen games are going to cost.
Like, right, but it's going to be increased to like 70, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't buy a game yet for a new console because they're not out yet.
Yeah.
But
let's just say they're $60. $60,
right.
That is $1,080. And that's only for the 18 games that are mentioned in the article that we linked from The Verge.
Yeah, that's the value you're getting with Game Pass. Yeah, from everybody who I talk to that is an avid Xboxer, is like, yo, Game Pass is fucking sick.
Yeah. Well, but here's the thing, is like, fuck Xbox, fuck PlayStation, fuck Nintendo, fuck the PC. If you're into games, this is huge. This sets a precedent for how we consume games going forward. Because if this is successful, we could see, maybe not Nintendo, but we definitely see Sony doing something similar.
Right.
Right? $15 a month. And you can enjoy as many games as you want. Let's say it takes you a week to beat a game. That's 4 games a month.
Right.
That literally is already for 4 games. You're basically getting 4 games, right?
For $15.
For $15 a month. That's insane.
The value for that is actually insane. I wonder if it would be like kind of like Netflix, right? Mm-hmm. Where they count like the views for a show. I wonder if they like count how many people played this certain game through a Game Pass and be like, oh shit, let's pay them to get more money to make another game, and more people will play it for that game. You don't get more money.
Yeah, well, I think most of the games they showed were from first-party Microsoft studios, or Microsoft affiliated studios, right?
Right.
Yeah. Because I mean, they did show off Destiny 2, which is from Bungie. Obviously, they put their stuff out on PC and on PlayStation as well, but dude, it blows my mind. I know that there are some concerns with it. Things like, you know, studios aren't going to be getting paid as much. Developers aren't getting paid as much. What is it going to look like in a year or two? Are they going to be able to sustain this for a long period of time?
Yeah.
But right now, dude, like,
they're making a lot of money off of Game Pass.
Yeah.
It's $15 a month, right? And I think they said they had over 10 million subscribers to Game Pass.
Yeah.
So that's what, 150 million a month?
Yeah, it's insane. Like I said, we'll see what happens in the long term, but bro, did you ever think growing up as a young gamer having to wait for like Christmas and birthdays to get that one game that you wanted to play, you know, the entire year?
Right.
Can you imagine having access to something like this?
Just whenever, wherever, because you can get Game Pass on your PC.
Yeah,
that's
like, dude. Like, think about your 2 youngest brothers, dude.
Right. Happy birthday, Tom.
Yeah, shout out Tom. Happy birthday, bro. $15 a month, and they get access to fucking any, you know, essentially any game under Microsoft, bro. Like, that's insane.
It's crazy compared to like when I was a kid, and me and my older brother John would have to scrounge up, like, I don't know, we would be looking for like quarters and shit and be like, yo, we got $5, let's go to Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Then we would drive down to Alameda, that's a street, sorry, to go to a Blockbuster. And then we're just like, yeah, let's get this for 7 days or whatever. I don't remember how long the rents were for.
Yeah, dude.
We would play it, like the shit out of it for that long, and then, you know, we'd have to wait until we scrounge up another $5. And yeah, the used section of GameStop be like, oh shit, this game is $12, let's get it,
dude. Like, listen, shout out to my mom, because growing up I could be like, listen, Mom, I really want this game. Do you love me? And then she'd be like, yeah, whatever. And she'd be like, here, I got you the game. And I'd be like, fuck yeah, dude. Bro, when I had to buy my copy of The Last of Us on PS3, dude, I hadn't started working yet. So I was like, oh shit, I don't know if I'm going to have the money for it. And like getting that game, dude, and like having that feeling of like, okay, I just dropped $60 on this game. It better be fucking worth it. You know, versus now, I think you might be muted, Mark.
I'm muted?
Oh, never mind.
Why?
Okay. I saw you saying something and then I didn't hear sound.
Probably. That's fine.
But no, it's like you spend that money, like, fuck, I hope this is good. Now for $15 a month, dude. You play 4 games a month. What's the math on that, Mark? What's 15 divided by 4? I'm not good at math.
Okay, so let's say these are all new games at $60, and that's 4 games, right? So that would be like what, $240? So then, and you pay for that would be for that month. You pay $240 to get those each game individually. But with Game Pass, you play all of those for $15. Like, that's insane value for me,
bro.
But at the same time, what does that say, like, for the developers that make these games?
Yeah,
to fund their company to make these games.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, right? So 4 games a month, $15 at $15 a month, you're paying $375 a game.
That's insane.
Like, you're paying 300 you're paying $3.70. I'm not good at math. $3.75 to play Fable, right? To play Forza Motorsports, to play
Halo Infinite.
Halo Infinite, dude. Like, to play Psychonauts 2.
All of them are going to be available on Game Pass. That's what Microsoft said, right?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken.
So these are all the titles, the first party titles that they're showing off at their event. All of them are available through Game Pass.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's we'll see what it does, but it's crazy.
Like, there have been companies in the past who have tried to do this, like, take this like Netflix approach to gaming. Right, I think like Gamefly, yeah. So for a major studio, first party studio, right, who develops consoles to do something like this is insane. Now, keep in mind, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, they're not making their money on the hardware. They're making their money on games, right?
Right.
We saw this with, like, the PS4 was being sold at a loss, and it took them, a year and a half, 2 years before they finally turned a profit on the hardware.
Right.
So again, it's gonna be interesting to see the longevity of this, because you have 10 million users paying $15 a month versus 10 million users paying $60 for each game. It's like,
well, damn.
We'll see though. Hopefully this isn't mismanaged. Microsoft and mismanaging things. Name a better duo.
Rip in peace, Mixer.
Rip in peace, Mixer. So we'll see how it goes. Why don't we jump into what was shown off?
Yeah, let's go in with the actual games that were shown off.
Do you want to start with the big one or leave it till the end?
They started off their show with a big one.
All right.
So, guys, if you don't know, there's a little known title that has been with the Microsoft brand since the
little indie title.
Little indie title by small team at 343 Industries. And this little indie title is called Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite. Yeah. But really, Halo Infinite started off the Microsoft showcase, and it looked like a Halo game.
Halo Infinite was shown off, and I was very underwhelmed.
Looked like a Halo game.
To be quite frank,
if you're a fan of Halo, hey, it's a Halo game. Let's go, And I played a lot of Halo as a kid. I had Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, ODST, and Reach. And playing Halo 3 on like Forge with a bunch of people, those are always good memories and stuff like that. At the same time, it just felt like this was Halo just on the Xbox Series X. It didn't feel like they were like moving forward or anything. And this was just a snippet. We don't know the final product of the game. So this is just what we saw. This was what was presented to us. It just felt like Halo, but on an Xbox Series X. It was like, hey, let's take Halo 5 and just move it to this console. Like that meme that Patrick is like, let's take Bikini Bottom and push it over there. That's what it feels like. But Microsoft was like, let's take Halo and put it on here.
Yeah, it was... What did we get from it? Seems like it's going to be a bit open world.
Yeah, big and open world. That's what it's supposed to... The campaign is supposed to be 4 and 5, longer than 4 and 5 combined. So, huge campaign.
There was a new gun or 2 new guns. I can't quite remember.
I don't know.
What was
Halo
the
games, so.
what was the other thing, Mark? Oh, that's right. Let's just give him a fucking grappling hook.
We're Sekiro now, boys. We got a grappling hook.
They're just like, give him the fucking grappling hook, boys.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, that's my impression of Halo.
Yeah. Like, don't get us wrong. It's gonna sell extremely well.
Right.
Millions of people are gonna play it. Is it something that we're interested in? You know, it's on games. It's on Game Pass, so.
Hey, in the future, be streaming on my PC because it's gonna be on PC as well.
That's true. So there was that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I really don't know what else to say.
It's crazy, right? It's like, this is Halo. This is your big flagship title that's been with you since the inception. That's like Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation, right? Mm-hmm. It came on to the PS1 1997. These big 3D graphics, an insane narrative story told through told through animated polygons, right? Got those. Y'all remember Little Cloud with his freaking hexagon
biceps, bro.
But and then, however, 2020 come back, Final Fantasy VII remake, PS4. You're like, shit! Oh my god, it's crazy. And this one, I don't know. It's like, man, that's sure a Halo game.
Yeah, dude. Although 343 did say that it would run at a flawless 60 FPS.
Yeah, and we all like 60 FPS, man.
144 hertz, but whatever.
Yeah, if you guys saw what I was doing a couple of days ago, I was playing on a 120 FPS while running Resident Evil 2, but
Yep.
Yeah, honestly, Halo and Gears of War are what stands out to me when you think Xbox. So,
well, aren't they doing I don't want to call them remasters, but they're gonna port them to the Series X, I believe.
Maybe, sure.
I don't know. What's Gears Tactics?
Gears Tactics, yeah.
Their RTS. I think they're porting that one over.
Ray tracing. Oh.
So let's keep moving down. I guess the big one that they announced at the end of the show was Fable. Which I've never played a Fable before.
I loved Fable, and I loved Fable 2. I was pretty indifferent to Fable 3, but I loved the first two Fables. And this one is from a new studio, so there'll be no Peter Molyneux, which is always a good thing. Sorry, Peter Molyneux, if you're listening.
Dude.
But
we're never gonna work with him now,
right? In my opinion, my humble opinion, I'm like, okay, that's a good thing. But they didn't. They showed a fairy getting eaten by a frog.
Which, let's be honest, was like the best thing to come out of the conference because the memes are so good.
I thought it was really funny. It told me nothing about the game. There was no gameplay. So what this tells me, it's not going to be for a long ass time.
Yeah. I think some people were estimating possibly end of 2021.
Yeah.
That's an
estimate. We have no idea. We just know it's being worked on. It's happening. It's like Nintendo with Metroid 4. You know that screenshot they showed? What have we heard of Metroid 4 since then? Exactly. Yeah, Microsoft and their backwards compatibility is always chef's kiss, And my PS4 is sitting here not being able to play PS3 games.
Hey, just wait for the PS5, dude.
If the rumors are true, PS5 can play that shit. So
backwards compatibility for everything, no? Isn't that what it's supposed to be?
That's the rumor, but
we'll see. So let's do this. I'm gonna just run through the list real quick, and then we can go back and touch on individual games. Yeah. So I don't know that this is a complete or comprehensive list because I did not watch the event. I kind of just was on the Xbox YouTube channel, just kind of watching all the trailers. So we had Halo Infinite, Fable, Avowed, which is a fantasy RPG, a new Forza Motorsports, Tetris Effect Connected, which is just going to add co-op and competitive multiplayer, Destiny 2 Beyond Light DLC, Balin Wonderland, Everwild, The Outer Worlds Peril on Gorgon, which is an expansion to or DLC to Outer Worlds. Tell Me Why, Psychonauts 2, Crossfire X, Dragon Quest, Echoes of an Elusive Age, Definitive Edition, Stalker 2, The Gunk, Phantasy Star Online 2, New Genesis, The Medium, Sable, Grounded, As Dusk Falls, Hello Neighbors 2, State of Decay 3, Everwild, Exomecha, Watch Dogs Legion, and Echo Generation.
Yeah.
What stands out to you there?
The Medium.
Yes.
If you guys don't know, The Medium is very heavily inspired by Silent Hill, and so much so that they actually have Akira Yamaoka working with them on the OST. And if you don't know, he did the OST for the first 4 Silent Hills, and he's one of my favorite composers. And I absolutely love that he is working on this very heavily Silent Hill inspired game. It looks super cool, and I am very, very excited to get more information, actual gameplay of The Medium.
Yes. So, The Medium, I just linked an article in the chats. It does have the trailer for. It has the dual reality trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole premise with Medium is it is a psychological horror game.
Yeah.
That using the Xbox Series X and the PC will be able to simultaneously render 2 different worlds at once, right? So you'll have 2 different worlds rendered on your screen. Apparently the technology has been patented by, what is the studio here? Blooper Team.
Blooper Team.
Called the dual reality gameplay, so it's patented. It looks really interesting.
It really,
yeah. So it seems like, you know, during the game you're going to be playing the same character in these 2 different worlds.
Marianne is the name of the protagonist.
Yes, and then during key points in the game you're going to be playing in one world or the other.
Right? Or even having the ability to switch between the worlds on the fly. So, like, if you guys remember in Silent Hill 1, in the school, you can actually switch between worlds by going to the bathroom and, checking out the mirror. Boom, you switch between spooky-ass world to less spooky-ass world.
Yeah. It looks really interesting. Very interesting. Is it a gimmick, though?
That's a big question. Is it a gimmick?
Is it a gimmick?
Man, I really hope it's not forced in there to be like, hey, look at this shit that we can do. And I hope it's like an integral part that plays a big part and is actually really cool to use.
Yes, because here's the thing. I don't think there's going to be a gray area to this one. I think it's either going to work out extremely well or it's going to be shit.
Right.
Because if it work, here's the thing. They're putting a lot. There's a lot riding on this, right? Because they patented this technology.
Right.
So if it does well for them and it's a great story and they're able to use it in a way that's not intrusive, I think they're gonna, they could expand on this series, right? And continue to do this. But if it's shit and it's like completely jarring to the user, I think it's gonna be a one and done if that's the case. I don't think they're gonna touch this again. They're probably gonna say, you know what, we tried whatever, let's move on. Let's make our next game.
Right.
So it'll definitely be interesting.
I really hope that it works.
Yeah, right now it seems very gimmicky.
Yeah, because I am such a huge fan of Silent Hill, but Konami absolutely hates the IP for whatever reason. And this is the closest we're gonna get to a new one.
Well, dude, it's because it's not a pachinko machine.
Feels so good.
Yeah.
Watch. This is gonna age badly because then they're gonna announce a new one, and I'm gonna be like, huh. Well, now I look stupid, and that is okay. I don't mind looking stupid if it's for Silent Hill. But what else absolutely blew me away? Stalker
2. I know you were pretty excited about that.
Stalker is it's another survival horror game. They have Shadows of something. Shadows of Chernobyl, or is it Stalker Chernobyl and then Stalker Shadows of something. There's a couple of Stalker games.
Idea.
They're old school survival horror games, so this was like out of nowhere, honestly, for me, because they're pretty old.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, we're back, and here's a sequel, which that's always cool, because they're pretty cool games. So I'm looking forward to that. And just from the trailer alone, it felt like the atmosphere felt really good. So hopefully that keeps up with the actual game. They didn't show gameplay. What can we do?
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. Other than the medium, the one that I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna play that," was Tell Me Why.
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Tell me why.
Nothing but a mistake.
Mistake.
Wait, I forgot the word.
Tell me why.
I never wanna hear you say.
Mark wants it that way. Tell me why. Don't Nod's newest title.
You guys don't know who Don't Nod is? They did Life is Strange.
Yes, they did.
Which I'm a pretty big fan of. Michael's a fan of. Fantastic game. I loved it. Absolutely adored it. So this is a story between a pair of siblings, and it's gonna have. It has the same dramatic feel that Life is Strange had.
It's gonna be episodic.
Yeah. First episode comes out in August.
Yep.
Be ready for it.
I'm excited, dude, because I really, really enjoy Life is Strange.
Oh yeah.
So.
Life is Strange is man, that was such a good game, dude.
Yeah, I feel like so the whole episodic gaming thing like came back with Telltale, right?
Right.
But then when Donut released Life is Strange, it was just like, oh shit, dude. Like Telltale did a great job, but then like Don't Nod just like fucking took it to the next level in terms of storytelling, I think.
Let's pour one out for our boy Lee.
Dude. my boy Lee.
Lee.
Yeah, there was that. Crossfire X, dude.
Yeah, generic military shooter number 50.
I was reading though that the developers were inspired by Resident Evil.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. Okay, maybe I'd have to actually check it out.
Yeah, did you see the trailer for it?
I did see the trailer for it, and it just seemed like a generic military shooter.
Well, honestly. There was definitely some like supernatural-ish aspects, kind of. You know,
that reminds me more of Fear than Resident Evil. Oh, Fear was a first-person shooter, but it had supernatural stuff with it.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, we'll see. If it's on Game Pass, I mean, might as well. You know, you're already paying your $15 a month. You might as well try it out. You know.
Hey, why not? Let's go for it.
Dude, what about Tetris Effect Connected? Is it time?
The biggest game of the show.
The biggest, baddest, newest esport title to hit the scene. Tetris Effect Connected. Mark.
Tetris Effect.
Mark, this is me talking into my microphone right now. Okay, not this one, but this one in my hand. Are you going to be going pro?
Yeah, I'm 100% going pro in Tetris Effect. Dude, what is...
And who will you be representing? Which team will you be representing in Tetris Effect Connected?
There's only one team that I represent, and that's the Chihuahuas, baby.
The Chihuahuas, baby. That's what we call a cross promotion.
Right? Yeah, Worlds, thank you.
I don't know that I agree with The Verge's article where they called Tetris Effect Connected one of the biggest games announced at this event. Because I feel like there were some other games that could have taken, you know...
Honestly, Tetris Effect seems like kind of a meme. Honestly.
Yeah, dude. Well, here's the thing. You know what game I think could have gone on this list instead of Tetris Effect?
Which game?
State of Decay 3.
State of Decay. That one, I think that one had one of the coolest cinematic trailers.
Yeah, it did. And like State of Decay, I love that game. Haven't played State of Decay 2 yet. but I really enjoyed the first one. You know,
right?
So we'll see. It looks like, listen, and I'm glad they're doing this because I'm tired of watching this zombie content where only humans can get infected.
The deer.
The deer was infected in the cinematic trailer.
That is insane.
Yeah, dude. Again, it was just a cinematic trailer, no real gameplay.
That's like a very whatchamacallit, recurring theme. Yeah. Cinematic gameplay. Yeah. But you know what did gameplay?
What was that?
Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis.
PSO 2 New Genesis.
PSO 2 New Genesis. A lot of you guys don't know, PSO 2 is a MMORPG, more colloquially known as a MMORPG. And I actually really enjoyed it. It launched earlier this year on Xbox and Microsoft Store, and it's coming to Steam next month, if I'm not mistaken. But I do have a max level character in that, and I've had a lot of fun. And this is like a new, instead of an episode, which is what the expansions are called for the game, they're doing this, which is changing up the engine that it uses. So it's a lot prettier and a lot more customizable, and it changes a lot of how the game works. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I saw it and I immediately was like, oh, Mark's gonna like that.
Right.
Yeah. I tried getting into it. It wasn't my jam. I don't really like MMORPGs, MMORPGs. They're not really my jam.
Yeah.
But I know you and your brother John were sinking a lot of time into that game.
Oh yeah, we went hard into that. We spending days grinding for those nemesis weapons. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Was there a release date attached to that?
2021. It launches 2021 worldwide, which is insane because we got PS2 in the States 8 years after it launched in Japan.
Holy shit, dude! I didn't know it was that big of a gap.
Yeah, it launched in Japan in 2012, and we got it this year. And yeah, I'll be glad for the global release because come on, bro.
That's good.
Yeah, and the Microsoft Store version of the game had a lot of issues with people not being able to even install the game and run it.
I'll be honest with you, I think that was one of the reasons I kind of was like gave up on it before I even played it. You remember how much difficulty I had trying to install it.
The exact same thing happened with Zach.
Stupid.
He could not get the game to run for whatever reason, and I blame it on the Microsoft Store because there's an outside launcher that you can download and install, and that fixes literally everything. So thank you, Microsoft Store.
Because what was the thing with the Microsoft Store? It was like I had to update something.
Oh yeah, you had to update that certain driver.
It was like this one specific driver I had to update, and then it didn't work, so I had to like roll the update back and then re-update it, and it was just a fucking thing, dude. It was bad.
It was a big mess.
It really was. Let's see, what else do we have here? Watch Dogs Legion. I played the first Watch Dogs.
I didn't play the first Watch Dogs.
It was all right. We'll see.
I was not really interested in the Watch Dogs.
Another Ubisoft title.
So that kind of flew over me. I was like, cool.
Yeah. What was it Grounded that had that really funny trailer?
Oh yeah, Grounded was like for the biggest game in 2020. Yeah. Just wait for Cyberpunk 2077.
Good old Cyberpunk, dude.
Cyberpunk.
The newest hockey game sweeping the nation.
But Grounded looked like survival, building stuff.
Yeah, is it gonna? Yeah. I was gonna say asymmetric, but I don't think it really is. I think it's more like Fortnite, Save the Earth, or whatever the fucking... Not the multiplayer Fortnite, not the free, but the one you had to pay for, where you had to like build structures and then you just get waves of enemies. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Mark, I have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
No idea. Nope.
Yeah, well, that was originally like, it was Fortnite Save the World, and then Fortnite like
BR.
BR.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like you set traps and shit, and then just waves come at you. You gotta kill the waves and all that shit. Save the world. Yeah, thank you, Impulse. Yeah, I wonder if it's gonna be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, base defense.
Yeah, dude. Dude, words.
Words are
Fucking
hard, bro.
dude.
Words are hard.
Psychonauts 2 was another one.
Have you guys ever played the first Psychonauts? It's done by what's his name?
That's,
Oh no,
Double Fine.
Tim Schafer.
Yep.
Tim Schafer. He did
Mr. Double Fine himself.
Mr. Double Fine himself. And I enjoy Psychonauts 1. It was released way back on the Xbox. And that was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. It was cool. So I'm excited for Psychonauts 2. And they got Jack Black to sing the song of that. I love Jack Black. He's great. Jablinski Games himself.
What was it that you told me about when you saw Jack Black?
Oh, I was like, oh, this is gonna be Brutal Legend or something, and it wasn't. I would love another Brutal Legend.
Hey, there's still time.
There's still time, but
there's still time.
Jablinski.
Yeah, dude. I'll be honest with you, man. There wasn't. I don't know.
Another one I was looking forward to was Balan Wonderworld.
Oh yeah.
From creator Yuji Naka. If you don't know who that is, he created Sonic the Hedgehog, and it's being published through Square Enix, which I'm a pretty big Square Enix fanboy, and it looks very charming from what I've seen. Okay, here's what it's described as: the action game of action games, which means it's got a pretty big thing to live up to or whatever. And you'll be switching between 80 different costumes to navigate the world. That's actually pretty cool. So hopefully it captures the same magic the original Sonic did, and not the later Sonics did. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, dude. Good old ballin' Wonderland, dude.
It's ballin'.
My man, straight ballin' every day. 'Cause I'm free.
Free ballin'.
Free ballin'.
Oh God, no.
Oh, don't do that. Cut that. Hold on, let me
cut it. Oh God.
Hello, hey editor.
Yep, yeah, look out.
Cut that, please.
What else was shown that was cool? Everwild, that's Rare's new game.
Yes.
If you guys don't know Rare, they did Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong 64 and stuff like that.
Shout out Banjo-Kazooie. But fuck Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts. That game was fucking trash.
Didn't show any gameplay, so I have no idea what that game's even about.
Yeah,
cool art
is. All they showed was humans, the world, and some animales. That was literally it.
Cool. Okay. They showed Dragon Quest 11. Or excuse me, Dragon Quest 11S, Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. That's already out on Nintendo Switch. And it's just an expansion of Dragon Quest 11. Dragon Quest 11, really good game. Very good JRPG. Very good. Very solid. Character design by Akira Toriyama. You guys don't know who that is. The mangaka for Dragon Ball. And
yeah, dude, I'm excited to play Dragon Quest 11S starring my boy Trunks.
I know, he does look like Trunks. That was my first thought.
Oh, no.
But big middle finger to everybody that already owns the base edition of Dragon Quest, because you have to buy the game again. So that's nice. So good luck me, who bought this on Steam, so I don't have the definitive edition, so I don't have any of the extra content.
Well, I mean, that's where Game Pass comes in, right?
Dude, that's where Game Pass comes in. I'll be playing this on my PC.
Let's see, what else was there? Sable.
I'll be honest with you, I remember Sable.
I saw the trailer and I was like, okay, it's an indie game. An open world adventure game. And it was just kind of like, here's the main character just hopping around. It was like, all right, cool. It was a tech demo.
I actually have zero recollection of Sable. I'm not even gonna lie.
The only reason I know of that I can speak on this is because I had to watch it twice to be like, what am I watching? Obviously, that's not a knock on the developer,
Right.
Because I'm a fucking moron and I could never do anything. Bro, if you were to be like, hey, you remember Pong? Can you recreate that? I'd be like, I don't fucking know, dude.
I don't know how to Pong.
You know? But, I mean, obviously, so no knock to the developer, but I wasn't, I was like, okay.
Okay.
It's you know, it's a game.
game.
Let's wait to see more, you know?
Yeah, there was a lot of let's wait to see more, I feel. Because they didn't
Yeah.
barely show anything.
There's a lot of cinematics. Hey, this is what we got going. Okay.
Look at the berry being eaten. Look forward to Fable.
Yep.
Same thing with Avowed. It's like, you guys love Obsidian games. Look at this game that we just started working on. And like, that's cool and all. I love me some Obsidian, but when is that actually gonna come out? 2 years from now, 3 years from now?
Yeah. So we'll see. I love the games industry. I really do.
Right, same.
But I get so tired of this, like, hey, we're working on a game and all we have to show for it is that we poured all the resources into this cinematic.
Right.
And it's like,
that's a big thing. There's a lot of things that you're looking at and you're like, wow, that's sick. And then it changes from cinematic to actual gameplay and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's the other thing I really hate, and I think I was talking to might have been John or Diego, I can't remember. But this new game came out recently. It's called Rogue Team something. I don't remember. What is it called? Rogue? Let me look it up.
Something. It's like CS:GO, right?
Rogue Company.
Rogue Company. They call me Rogue Company.
And it is a 4v4 tactical shooter. It's basically like CS:GO, search and destroy type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's in beta right now. To access the beta, I think you can either get a drop from watching a Twitch stream or you pay $15.
Cool.
To play the beta. Why?
You shouldn't charge for a beta, guys.
Exactly. I am.
But at the same time, there's like Steam Early Access, which you actually pay to access game to early access the game where it's not done yet, it's in its alpha stage, or even sometimes even before the alpha stage. Which, if you're really invested in a project, or you know the creators, or you know the developers, and you want to support them, then this is cool, right? Because people can be like, I got this great idea for a game, I just need the funding. And it's a good idea. But you can also do that on Kickstarter, but as we've seen, it's a little dangerous to put a lot of things into the Kickstarter or into the early access, because sometimes these games just get dropped, or they don't turn out exactly like what was promised, or the scope of it is just far beyond the technical skills of the developers, so it comes out a completely different or mediocre experience.
Yeah, well, I also think like Kickstarter is its own other beast, because I mean, really, you and I could put up hey guys, we need $10,000 to build out a studio for this podcast, and people will donate and be like, yeah, we want to help you out, we really believe in you, whatever. And then we can get that money and just be like, oh, it didn't work out, so we're gonna not do it anymore. And there's no repercussions to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like there was recently an MMO called Chronicles of Illyria, and it scammed people out of $8 million. $8 million. This has been in development for, I don't know, 5-6 years, and there's all these promises made, and the lead, apparently had a huge salary, and he cut a lot of corners, and he kept making these promises and putting out very little in actual way of gameplay, and $8 million of people's money are just gone.
Yeah.
So, well, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the question. How can they just get away with this? And they shouldn't be able to, but
they shouldn't. I mean, and I guess another way you can look at it is, it's investment, right? You can approach an investor, say, hey, this is my idea, and then they say, okay, well, I'll give you $100,000. The big difference, though, with getting an investment from somebody or from a company is that you are getting something in return. So, like, let's say I say, Mark, I'm going to invest $100,000 into your startup for 5% of the equity, which means I'll own 5% of the company, and whatever. The hope is that I'll get the return on my investment, right? I'm giving you that $100,000, knowing that I could lose it all, and I'm okay with that. But if you are successful, not only am I getting back my $100,000, I'm getting more back on top of that.
Right.
And there isn't that on Kickstarter. There's still that idea of like, okay, I'm gonna give this game money, or I'm gonna give this idea, this product money, and if nothing happens, I have to be okay with that, right? Like, I have to be okay with me losing out on this money, which sometimes, unfortunately, it could be like $100. It could be $1,000. It could, $25 could be a lot to somebody, but if they really believe in something, and they're gonna donate that money with the hope that they're gonna get something in return, right?
Right.
And there
scary.
is, exactly. I've only ever contributed to one Kickstarter project, and it was for an artist that I really enjoy.
Right.
And it was for this sketchbook. Is actually the one that I sent Zach for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
And I backed it, paid for 2 of these things. I get them in, and the whole thing is like, it's exclusive to this. Like, if you pay for it, you're getting it. That's it.
Right.
And now it's being sold on the artist's website. Like, you can go and buy it for less than what I paid for it.
That's cool.
Yeah. Which, it's cool for, like, for people who missed the Kickstarter, but for me, I'm like,
well then,
dude, okay. You're sport. Yeah, and that's the way I look at it, and it's because you have to be okay with those things.
Yeah.
However,
and it's like situations like this that really put a damper on people investing into other things. They're like, well, we're not going to take a chance and invest into this really cool game because of what happened with this other game. They took all this money from all these people, and literally nothing came of it.
Yeah.
They should be held accountable. Honestly, it's pretty disgusting.
My other big thing, though, and I guess I'm going to go back to the whole, like, paying for a game that's in beta. I don't understand why we fucking do that. Like, and I think it was really like, and I remember now, I was talking to Diego about it because he brought up this point. I feel like that was a thing that started with PUBG.
Right.
Where, like, you paid, there was a barrier to entry. It was $30. You pay for that game, and you go into it knowing it's buggy, knowing all this shit. And we played it a lot when it was in early access.
I have over 200 hours in PUBG.
Yeah, we raged a lot playing that game. And I think since then, it's kind of become just this, like, thing where it's like, oh yeah, we're making the game, it's not done, toss us $10 and you can play it. Right? And I don't understand why. Our friend Diego brought up the point that, well, it's because with PUBG there was nothing like it at the time.
Right.
It was the first BR, major BR that really took off. So people were okay paying that $30 barrier to entry.
Now BRs are a dime a dozen.
Yes.
So it's an industry,
Yeah, but now it's like, why? Like, in the case of Rogue Company, which, don't get me wrong, it looks good. Like, I'm interested in the game. But if it's a XVX tactical shooter where there's a bomb site and you have to buy guns and this and that, what's gonna keep people from, what's setting the game apart when CS:GO exists, when Valorant exists, both of which are now, Valorant free to play, CS:GO became free to play last year, a couple months ago.
Yeah, that's the thing too.
Yeah.
They just keep them in beta to keep
Yeah.
updating, keep getting more money. Oh, it's rough because there's actual good projects in there, like Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, that was crowdfunded on Kickstarter, and it was from the creator of Castlevania, right?
Yeah.
And that game came out fantastic. I absolutely loved it. It was one of my top games of last year. Did it come out last year? Or was it the year before that? But it's fantastic. You know, I'm glad that I supported it because it turned out extremely well.
Yeah.
It's sad that a game scanned people out of that much money, and it's gonna make it harder for other actual good companies to get the funding they need to make these games.
Yeah.
So.
We'll see, man. I don't know, dude. $15 a month to play Rogue Company, which is in beta, or $15 a month for Game Pass.
Yes.
Listen, hold on, I'm gonna hold on. Listen, Microsoft, if you're watching this, because I know you are, sponsor us.
Maybe.
That's our pitch.
Yeah, that's our pitch. By the way,
pitch. That is it. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about this week?
Nintendo had their mini direct.
Oh yes, they did.
Which I absolutely loved.
Because
they finally gave us more information of Shin Megami Tensei 5, and they surprised everybody with Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne HD remaster, which was chef's kiss. Mwah. And that is, if you guys don't know, Shin Megami Tensei is one of my favorite series ever. And they announced Shin Megami Tensei 5 back in 2017, and we heard literally nothing about it until Tuesday. And I was so damn happy because I've been looking forward to that game for a long time. And not only that, but it's getting a worldwide release next year, which is crazy because, you know, Atlas also does Persona.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't done a worldwide release together. You know, it's always Japan gets it first, North America gets it half a year later or something. So the fact that these are all coming worldwide, ooh, so good. So good.
Sofa King good.
Mm-hmm. What else did they announce? Atelier Ryza 2. If you guys don't know what that is from the long-running Atelier series made by Gust. And they released this last year. I have it. I played it and I streamed it. It was very fun. I'm a big fan of the Atelier series. And the fact that they're already churning out a second one, which happens 3 years after the end of the last game, is really cool because that was the best-selling game in the series, and it's going to bring the title to a lot more people. So, you know, chef's kiss for that too. There's a lot of chef's kissing at the freaking Nintendo event.
I think there's just quite a bit of chef's kissing this week with like games announcements, and not just from us, but I think just from the games, you know, fans of games in general.
Yeah, if you guys are all about Microsoft, you're gonna be like Xbox Game Pass, chef's kiss. You know, if you're a SMT fan like I am, Nocturne, SMT5, chef's kiss. There you go.
Yes, sir.
And there's a rumor that Sony's gonna have a mini state of play on August 6th. I forgot where I read that. I read it somewhere, but keep this in mind. August 6th, a mini state of play for PlayStation.
Does that mean we're finally gonna get the price?
Where I hope they drop the price, and I still say it's gonna be $4.99 for the disc, and then $4.50 or $4.30. No, yeah, $4.49 for the digital only.
Yeah,
you can quote me on that. Clip
I think
it.
so. Clip that shit. Xbox One X Series. What's the name of the console? The thing that looks like a mini fridge.
The new Xbox, as I like to call it. I'm gonna say $5. What? What'd you say?
$4.99. 500.
Okay. I'm gonna say it's $5.29.
520. Why 529?
I don't know. That's the first number that popped into my head. 529. 99.
I think. Well, because there was that leak, right, from the French retailer online where it was the disc only version was sorry, I was looking at chat. There was a did you see what I saw?
Want to be famous?
Sorry, I'm assuming a bot just came into Mark's chat and started spamming a link. That's really funny. I want to say it was €3.99 for the discless version, and then €4.49 for the disc version, which translated to like about 400, and then 450.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We shall see.
We'll see. So Mark, before we end, I thought it would be really interesting, and I totally didn't just have this idea now.
Okay.
Why don't we, at the end of each episode going forward, we recommend something to everybody? It could be a movie, a show, a book.
I'm gonna do a game.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on, let me see what this is so I get the name right. Okay, so I'm gonna recommend the Suikoden series. This is an old JRPG series. I think there's 5 of them, and it was produced and developed by Konami. But today, actually, the original creators of Suikoden, and this goes back, they're about to launch a Kickstarter for their new spiritual successor called called Eiyuden Chronicle. And I absolutely adore Suikoden, especially Suikoden 2. That's the best one, in my opinion, and my favorite one. And I'm really looking forward to it. I know a lot of other people are really interested in it because we all love Suikoden. And that is what I'm going to recommend to you. Suikoden 1 through 5, but especially 2, because that's my favorite. And you can buy them on PlayStation Store, I'm pretty sure. I know you can get the first 2 on PlayStation Store, if I'm not mistaken. Because I have them on my Vita.
Oh, dude.
On that dead console.
Rip in peace, Vita.
Yeah. Poor Vita is dead as Mixer is now.
Oh, no. Nice. My recommendation, which the only reason I brought this up so I could recommend this. Only reason I'm letting you recommend something, Mark.
Okay.
I want to recommend something.
Well, I already know what this is. Let's go. Shout it out to the guys.
Last night, my queen, T. Sweezy, Taylor Swift, released her 8th studio album, Folklore. Mwah, chef's kiss. Mwah, go listen to that shit. It's available on Spotify. Maybe Apple Music, they're having issues. I don't know. Amazon Music, Google Music, whatever that platform is. Mwah, chef's kiss. That's what I want to recommend.
I just get Michael. We were in a call last night.
Yes.
It's just like, it's almost time. Oh my god, it's almost time.
Dude, I was listening to the album while playing Apex with Mark and Diego, and I was just like fucking crying, dude. I was like, it's so good. So yeah, listen. In this podcast, we stand Taylor Swift. If you don't like her, we can't be friends anymore. Just kidding. I still love you. You're your own person. You're allowed to have your own opinions.
Right.
Love you.
And welcome to the Twitch family, former rapper Logic.
Oh, dude. Fuck, bro. There's so much. Yeah, Logic also released an album yesterday. His last album. And he signed a 7-figure deal with Twitch. So
yeah, he's streamed yesterday. He had almost 100,000 viewers. Insane. But welcome to the Twitch family, Logic. You're pretty cool. Yeah, he released music too, so
yeah. You know. I enjoy Logic. I do. So still haven't listened to his album though, because you know, Taylor Swift. What's up? Listen, Taylor Swift, if you want to sponsor a stream.
What's up? Hey.
How's it going? How are you? Love your music.
Yo,
tipping cool. The fedora. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for us. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening, depending on the platform you are on. If you want to find us, you can find us at CloudMark _ on Twitter and Instagram, or CloudMark on YouTube. I am MikeMedran0 on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And you can follow the podcast on Twitter at We Digress Pod. The other cool thing, if you enjoy the podcast and you want to support us, you can actually go to anchor.fm/We Digress/support and pledge as little as 99 cents a month. That'll help us out to continue to grow this podcast. We also have some merch. So right now the merch is on my Streamlabs shop, which is streamlabs.com/MikeMedran0/merch. Any merch purchases are going to be split between Mark and I, again, to continue to grow this podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. We love you. We appreciate you. We hope you had a great night. Goodbye.
See you later, y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.